He's putting a spin on traditional mapo tofu. So here's what you'll need. Ground pork, turkey, or chicken, soy sauce or tamari divided, sugar, garlic, 3 types of oil, ground Szechuan peppercorns, doubanjiang paste, vegetable stock, tofu, and some rice. Okay, Trev, you describe mapo tofu as a silky dish of tofu, salty bean paste, and tongue-numbing chili peppers. So we are in for a spicy ride, huh?
It's a bit of a spicy ride, but it comes in layers, Tracy. And this is one of those dishes where it's not really packed with intense heat, but it does move through your body in transformative ways, I always say. Like Tony Bourdain said, if you're hung over, this dish will scare the evil out of your body the next day. So, but it's not crazy, crazy hot.
Okay, so the name can be a little misleading. This isn't a vegetarian dish, is it?
It's not a vegetarian dish, Tracy, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions with tofu that we eat tofu as a vegetarian substitute. But usually tofu in Asian cooking is just another byproduct of a silky textured ingredient that we put in. This is actually made with traditionally ground pork, which I have here, which I've been marinating overnight with sugar, garlic, and a little bit of soy. And so I put it overnight. If you want to do it without meat, you can. If you want to substitute pork with other ground meats like turkey or chicken, you can. We're going to throw in some hot canola oil into the hot pan and a little bit of sesame oil. We don't want to do too much sesame oil, so we use a neutral oil like canola to balance it out because sesame can be very intense. Here is one of the byproducts of spice going in, which is a ground Szechuan peppercorn. I'm going to put those in and get those toasty. That Szechuan peppercorn is actually going to create that numbing. It's called the numbing chili in Szechuan cooking. Then we have some fresh garlic. We're going to get that all browned up really nice, and you can see that sizzle there. Then we're going to add, this is an extra step that I like to add. I like to add my own chili oil. My chili oil is a lot more flavorful. I've got tamarind in this year's batch. We're going to put that in. And then we're going to add this doubanjiang paste, which essentially is, this is the key ingredient to making mapo tofu. It's fermented broad bean that is made with soybean, salt, and a couple of other secret ingredients that gives it that really layered, really umami flavor. But this is really where the salt component in as well. Okay, we're going to put that in there, and basically we're going to let that all break down a little bit. It is the peppercorns that brings the heat. What I also have is I have bird's eye chili. I use it as a garnish, but I'm also going to put a little bit in here to kick it up a little bit. You'll also notice, Tracy, that in this recipe, I don't use salt and pepper because there's already a lot of marinade. There's salt inside the pork that we marinated. There's salt with the soy, and there's also salt with the doubanjiang paste, right? We like to use sugar to balance things out in cooking. So we're going to put a little bit of sugar in, and then I'm going to add the stock, right? We're almost there, right? We're going to bring this up to a little bit of a simmer. You can see that paste. Now the last thing we're going to add is the tofu, right? And I've used a silken tofu, medium firm, because if you're doing this at home in a wok or in a pan, tofu is delicate. So going with the firmer tofu allows it not to break down when you're kind of playing around with it. So we're going to bring that up to a nice little simmer. And a little secret here, Trace, if you've got a little extra time, you can let this reduce so it's a little thicker. But in Asian cooking, we have a little bit of a hack that helps you thicken your gravy. It's just a little bit of a cornstarch slurry. So a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of water. We're just going to put a little bit of that in. And what that will do right away, it is going to thicken that right away for you. Okay?
Nice.
This is pretty much ready. It doesn't take too much. Now, this is perfectly served with rice at home. So you can eat this as its own dish or over rice. So we're done here. I'm going to show you. I've got some beautiful rice here. We're going to just put this over top. That beautiful sauce, right? And then we're going to garnish it, Trace. Look, green onions.
Lovely.
And a little bit more juicy hot peppers.
Because why
and that's your mapo tofu. Because why not? Perfect for any meal. A little bit of heat. you'll feel this just at the back of your palate because of that Szechuan peppercorn that numbs the parts of your mouth. I say it's a creeper. Just when you think it's gone, it comes right back to haunt you.
Thank you so much for that recipe.